Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Bill Graining from the Alive Music and Outreach Festival, celebrating 30 years. Okay, let's think back 30 years ago.
It's hard to believe because I'm 40.
Exactly. So you started this when you were 10.
Oh, wait a minute. A little math error.
I guess not.
People can fact check that. That's not true. I'm older.
Would you ever dream 30 years ago that 30 years hence you would still be doing this? And doing it so well and watching it grow. Remember those old days when we'd be praying to have some people fill up the hill?
Yeah.
And think of what has happened since then.
It's a great observation that when you're in the beginning of something, they always say if you knew what it was going to become, you would have been scared to death.
Yes.
Number one, there's people that are running businesses today that say, I never thought I'd have 2,000 employees doing this. Well, with Alive, it's always been a community event. We depend on volunteers. Those that are listening can go to alive.org and you can sign up to help us for the 4 days and you get in free. You do have to pay for a shower pass and a T-shirt. That's $25. I think it's $25.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, they can correct me later. But the truth is you can do this as a community event. And who would have thought when we started, we were like, because we probably pulled you guys in. And
yes.
Everybody got sucked into our web. You got to help us at Alive. We need your help. So whether it was the folks that helped us get started at Bear Creek and Lee and Carol Senlin, who I just think, we never really thank enough for their vision to even do an event, open up their park. And then here we are, we grow this and we keep doing it and we have churches involved. But yeah, who would have thought we would be where we are? We have seen a lot of different changes in that there's so many options now. And now there's a lot of festivals like ours across the country, at least not as many that do what we do 4 days, camping, swimming at a beautiful Atwood Lake owned by the state of Ohio. We have a beautiful facility. If you haven't been to Atwood, the new $2 million Welcome Center, which is just gorgeous, and then they've just added for us and for their own use some beautiful hookup sites for the electric sites. There's still some left in the standard area. In our premium area, they actually sold out. But what we're seeing is this would not have happened if it wasn't for the volunteers and the coordinators and the managers and the people that are volunteering. And there's so many of them, I won't even try to name them. But this year, we are having a little celebration that's going to be bringing, and we hope you and Jim and your gang could join us. It's going to be basically, we're meeting on Saturday in one of the tents down there, and we're just going to get together and see if we can remember each other.
Oh, that just sounds awesome.
It'll be fun.
Oh, we're in, we're down.
30th anniversary, yeah.
Oh, yes.
We did it. We're here.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd like to do another 30. I'm not sure I'll be the director, but I know that I'll continue to say God's using this. It's great. And when do you get to gather, when do you get to gather with this many diverse people from different backgrounds? And I love, as you said, watching people come together. And there's nothing better than saying, where are you from? And we just got an order, and it was, I think it was 2 people from Missouri. And I'm thinking, okay, they're driving all the way from Missouri to come to a festival. Then you get an order, and they're from Florida or New York or wherever. Again, we draw primarily from Ohio and the contiguous states, but it's so cool to see the gathering as this, and what a good observation of the body of Christ.
I just have to thank you and Kathy for putting so much on the line, because when you think about it, you also have a family, and as a very young couple raising how many kids? 4 kids?
4.
So so you had your 4 little ones that you were responsible for, and this was also, although so much of it, and you live modestly, you don't live high off the hog, but this was your income, and it was depending on basically the weather on 4 days every year. And to put that much on the line. And Bill, I know I've seen you out there when it's the rainy years and the muddy years and hauling things like gravel and straw and hay and so forth to make everybody's time there as comfortable as possible. I mean, I don't know that people realize what you all sacrificed and were willing to sacrifice to be able to bring this to us. So thanks.
Thanks for saying that. I mean, thanks for even saying thanks for that, because it's one of those things where we really love doing it. And I think when you do, they always say, do something you love in life, whether it's a job or a business. We have some risk, obviously, because like you said, it could really be, we've had some rain years where you just go, well, that's why we, try to set aside something to cover these things. But the truth is, Alive is gradually now becoming a community event. You're going to notice, we aren't going to detail it all on the radio today, but a lot of what you're going to see happen is we are going to make this event where the community really kind of is in charge of running something. Because as I get older, and my wife's the same age, she's never aged, but I'm getting older.
That's
she
kind of
looks
true.
the same. Yeah, it's pretty true. But it's funny when we look back and say, okay, here we started this, you were there, we were all there in the beginning. Now we're saying next generation, let's help them keep this thing going.
Yeah, so you're passing the torch.
Pass
Isn't
on.
it fun to see the kids taking it and running with it?
Exactly, but also we're going to have the area churches, which when we started this pastor luncheon, it was our first one that we've done like this. We want the churches to know this is another tool in the toolbox for you to use to share. This is another tool to share Jesus with somebody. So if you have a neighbor that maybe won't come to church with you, buy them a ticket and ask them to come down and hear Need to Breathe, or say we got this really cool band playing down at Atwood. Hillsong, come down and hear Toby. Toby's a guy that a lot of people have heard of. But the goal is to use it as a community outreach, hence the name, the Music and Outreach Festival. But you'll see on a lot of our flyers, we talk about unite and gather the church to declare the hope of Jesus. The bottom line is we don't have a whole lot else to offer people. I mean, we can offer a fun time. You can go to a concert and be moved by music. Music can do that to you.
Right.
God made music. We know that does work. But we also know that when you peel back the music and the chords and the lyrics, if it's not about a change that Jesus offers, it's kind of hollow. So we're going to share Christ openly. But please, if you're in an area church, whether you're in, Coshocton or Canton, Ohio, or Massillon, New Philly, East Canton, Dover, whatever, come join us. We need the church to support an outreach like Alive, because otherwise that's, people say, well, how do you take this risk on? And I said, well, you trust God, and you know that it's not a big margin there, not a lot of margin for error, but we need people to come. So we're asking this year for the 30th, buy a ticket for somebody and bring them. And if you say, I can't come Wednesday and Thursday or Friday, but I can come one day, then you got July 19th, 20th, 21, 22. Pick a day, join us, 9 a.m., gates open. You can camp. If you buy a 4-day total event wristband, you get to camp for free. If you buy a weekend wristband, you can camp primitive for free. Get a tent. We even have a new thing this year called our Tent City, which basically we put a tent up for you. We put air mattresses and sleeping bags and a cooler, and we give you a little electric, and you can charge your phone. And that's a package on our website, and we're selling those to people that don't own a tent. When they leave, they either take it with them or we donate it to a homeless shelter.
How cool.
So that's a new idea.
Oh, my goodness. That's an awesome idea.
It's like glamping at Alive.
Yes.
But our version of it is basically that we have this tent area where they'll be pre-set up for you, and we'll even have coffee in the morning.
And a lot of people may want to say, please take this tent and donate it to a homeless shelter.
And if you want to take the tent, keep it. It's a nice tent. We get the tent and the air mattresses and the sleeping bags.
How nice.
It's kind of a cool thing that we thought. But most people that are coming that don't own a tent, we're getting a great deal on this stuff, so we put a package together. It's priced well, and it's kind of like we'll set up the room for you. We'll leave a light on for you.
Well, and you make it so comfortable because the showers are really good. The restrooms are really good. You always feel clean while you're there.
Bragging about restrooms. Here we go.
Here we go again.
But we do have nice.
But they are really good.
Nice restroom trailers. We've tried to stay away from a lot of no offense to those, the porta potty business, sorry. But we know that a lot of moms and dads like to go into a restroom with a stall, and here we are.
And a real place to wash your hands afterwards, and with soap and paper towels. And it's all very clean and civilized. It's so good.
You make it sound so much fun. I think I'm going to go.
It's so much fun. I'm telling you, really ought to check it out, Bill. It's so good. Alive.org to find out what kinds of volunteer opportunities there are. What kinds of things do you need? What kind of help do you need
Right now,
there?
we need folks to really help us both in areas of just simple things like helping when folks come in to give them out wristbands. That's our ticketing area. We also have what we call guest services, which is managed by our great manager, Shannon Hostetler. And he is just amazing. I'd be bragging about him all day. He has a passion and a heart for what Alive is about. And I'll quote him. He always says, the main thing is to make the main thing the main thing.
I love that.
And that's about sharing Jesus and serving. So he is a servant, but his area needs guest services volunteers. What you're doing there is you're helping campers get placed. He actually goes early, and they mark off acres and acres and acres of camping areas so people have roadways, and we give you plenty of room. You're not going to get squeezed in. You're going to have, if you want to camp down by the water, by the lake, or you want to camp in the pine forest, they serve. So that's an area we need help. We also need help with just people doing simple security type jobs, guarding people from getting in and out of areas. And we've really have a lot of areas that we need help. Vending, people that sell artist merch. They might work at a booth, and if they're good with helping with the merchandise, that's an area. And then, of course, we have people that will come in and help us we actually have some church groups that now are doing setup and tear down. But if you're able to come in and serve on stage crew, if you have some experience with your church, I know we're still looking for some stage crew. So when you get in there, we do want you to try to be there for the 4 days. It's like a mission trip. If somebody can't do all 4 days, there is a point where we start maybe looking for some one day, but we really need people to be there the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And we always ask you to tell us who your favorite artist is, because we try to make sure you can see the show you really want to see. But more than anything, we need people really to support it. If you can't volunteer, buy some tickets and come.
Yes, right.
It sounds simple, but when people say, "Oh, I'm busy," know that this is money well spent. You're going to be helping serve an event that actually goes. We just got some really, I won't go into all the detail, but we got some really cool children's ministries that we're donating tickets to. And we need people to buy tickets so that we can continue to give. And we have Youth for Christ and Teen Challenge and the Christian Children's Home of Worcester is bringing some great kids over. And I want them to just bring kids. So the way you help us, you go to alive.org and you say, I'm going to buy a couple one-day tickets. Even if you just come for a day or for a couple nights, that really is helpful to us. So we ask people to really
to the person buying them as well.
Yes.
You'll have a wonderful time.
We've always said we got the Pray With Us, help promote it at your church. If you go to our website at alive.org, you can click on Get Involved, and then we have 2 really good videos. One is our vision video. It's 4 minutes, tells you the story of why Alive is even here. Great to use at your church. See if your pastor will allow you to show that at church in a morning service. Many churches are doing that. And then there's a 1-minute promo video that just highlights kind of in a minute the whole event, with some music and lights and video and all that.
Closing minute, remind us who is going to be there, and then where we can go to see the whole lineup.
Yeah, the whole lineup, you go to alive.org. We also have a Facebook page if you search Alive Music and Outreach Festival or Alive Festival. But our lineup Wednesday, Family Force 5, Jordan Feliz, speaker Jason Lance. Thursday, Need to Breathe, We Are Messengers, Holland, speaker Bob Lenz, a bunch of others. I won't go through every group. Friday, Lecrae, Rend Collective, Gavi, Local Sound, Nick Hall is our keynote. Saturday, Toby Mac, Hillsong Young and Free, Zach Williams, Disciple, Micah Tyler, Aaron Cole, speakers Jimmy Miata and Scott Dawson that night. So that's an overview, but you can see having a diverse lineup with the kind of groups we have, something for everybody.
Yeah,
and there's a lot I left out. You can go to the website and see more of the artists we have coming.
And that website is alive.org. Bill Graining, you and Kathy, thank you so much for what you bring to our community.
Thank you, Susie.